Hey, Gen Geek fam, it is Doc Solo. We are back, the OG and the young G from Generation Geek, and we have thoughts on Fantastic Four First Steps. And we're going to tell you what we think right now. What up, Gen Geek fam? I know. We have been gone for a little bit. Apologies, but life has been lifing. And, man, if you haven't been under a rock the past couple of weeks and you can't see the buckets, he got his bucket off. The buckets. Oh, yeah. We got the buckets.
Like he's about to be streaming. He about to be streaming with me for a while. We about to be streaming together.
He's gonna be your stream buddy. Welcome, Gen Geek fam. Listen, I am Doc Solo, and this is my son.
This is Jay.
What's the word? And welcome to Generation Geek. This is a live stream. We said we're gonna start coming to you guys more. Listen, we apologize. We've been gone for so long. Again, a lot has been happening.
Vacations, work.
Yeah,
family stuff, health,
a lot. Okay, we won't even bog you down with it, but life's been lifing. But we have not forgotten our pledge to bring you guys the best, the absolute best in all geek fare from two generations of sworn, card carrying, tatted up, branded generations of geekdom. And we have just yesterday we went to go see Fantastic Four First Steps. Now, warning: we're gonna give some spoilers. We'll try not to give away too many spoilers, but it's hard not to be quite honest.
Yeah, no, seriously, and talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, I've been wrestling because I still haven't done Superman, our Superman review, and I was down in Kentucky a little while ago, and I was surprised. I was at the comic book shop today, and how many people haven't even seen Superman yet? And I don't know what that's about, quite honestly. And I'm talking like comic people that haven't seen Superman, which is bizarre to me. But anyway, we are going to give you our thoughts on Fantastic Four First Steps. We went to see it yesterday. 3 generations of geek went to go see it yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Me, Jay, and grand boy number 2, his eldest. And
Little Melee.
Little Melee.
Little Melee.
But his G-Pot to cut his hair so he can get some waves. He wants some waves. Well, listen, we're not going to belay the point. We saw Fantastic Four First Steps yesterday. And you want to start us off, Jay? Initial thoughts?
Yeah. Initial thoughts. I liked it. It was great. It felt like a Fantastic Four comic book. And if any of you guys have actually sat down, actually read a Fantastic Four issue, it felt like fantastic. It felt, even though Fantastic Four, the spacefaring team they are, they do such big stuff. It's always self-contained within the family. And so I'm glad with this being the first, movie within the MCU directed, from Feige, and everybody, that it felt so self-contained, even though it was big. And obviously we're getting into spoilers, but they're literally on their own world. So they're literally trying to save their own actual world. There's no Sentry or Thor. Nobody's coming to help them. It's just them. And so bringing them into the MCU allows you to see how capable that they are as a family. It also gives you, I was telling the old man, if they feel like a family in watching the movie, and that's why I like most. It felt like a family. It didn't feel forced, or it didn't feel like they didn't know each other. It's like the actors outside, like they actually spent time with each other outside of filming, and they became a family, and you can feel that through the screen. So I'll start there and let you go.
Yeah. First of all, let's address the elephant in the room. Marvel has screwed the pooch for the past few years when it comes to their productions and serving fandom. They have failed tremendously. Wouldn't you agree?
No, for sure.
Tremendously.
Absolutely.
And so I got to open up my review of Fantastic Four calibrated, because one of, again, I'm of no belief and no subscription whatsoever that superhero fatigue is legit. It has been horrible movie fatigue. Okay, absolute horrible movie fatigue, and Marvel has been the number one offender in that category of releasing just crapola after crapola. So on that note, I entered this with much trepidation, a fair amount of caution. Okay, and I don't know if what I'm about to say is because the movie was just that good, or if it came at a time when we were just so desperate for, hey, Afro SF, what's happening?
Afro,
I,
appreciate
I,
you,
I,
Afro.
I don't know if it's because we were so starved for something decent,
Yeah,
but I liked it. I
yeah,
liked it. And normally I'm very confident in my assessment of movies. You know that, son. You know that. Okay. I go in as the fan, as the educator, as the OG, and I try to be objective as possible. I try to do all the calculations. But this one left me baffled, because when I left, I immediately had to go see what others had said that I followed. Some of the worst critics, right? I'm talking about
yeah,
guys that will butcher anything remotely Marvel, DC, and they were in agreement with me, because I just had to make sure that I wasn't off. I'm like, I liked it, right?
yeah.
And so our good friend, and we both know, contacted me, and he gave me a scale out of 1 to 10, and I gave it, all right, so I gave it on scale of 1 to 10. Scale of 1 to 10. We'll use the 1 to 10. Scale of 1 to 10, I gave it a solid 6. Right? Now, it's not as bad as it sounds. Okay?
I gave it a 7.
You gave it a 7. Okay? So,
Yeah.
here's how I feel about your 7. And we talked about this briefly. Okay? With the critical eye that I viewed it through, okay, and we know I'm looking at CG, I'm looking at
Right.
pacing, I'm looking
The
at
thing,
the acts, how they
specifically the
open,
thing.
how they close, right? The characters, interactions, chemistry, the whole nine. And knowing what we know about the mythos, it landed at a solid 6 for me with all of that. If I
Yeah.
were an MCU fan and not an OG comic book fan, I would probably give it an 8.
Yeah.
Right? But you know, in comics as you do,
For sure.
I don't fight your 7.
Yeah,
Does it make sense? I give it a 6. I ain't mad at a 7 if you know the mythos. Okay, I'm not mad at a 7. Now, if you're a comic book geek like we are, you know, fans of the canon, and then if you're a fan of that, there were some problems. Would you agree? Right?
Yeah, for sure.
There were some problems. Speak to that. What's up, Maverick 77 Defender?
What's up, Maverick? Definitely had a better Silver Surfer. I give it that. Obviously, we didn't even have a real Galactus. We had a Cloud. But aside from that, so for me,
Mhm.
I gave it a 7 because with obviously all of the cosmic stuff at this point, the MCU has already given us, you know, a somewhat of a cosmic hierarchy. They gave us, you know, eternity and stuff like that in Thor: Love and Thunder and things like that. They
I'm always harsher than Jay.
he always harsher than me for sure. That's how he always gonna be.
There's a reason for that.
They gave us a cosmic hierarchy. They finally gave us Galactus. Yeah, they finally gave us Galactus, which I was just cheat. Like the moment he came on screen, I'm like, thank you, bro. Like
that was a nerd moment. The goosebumps.
Yeah,
came.
like you didn't have to change his design or anything. Like I'm just glad to finally see actual Galactus.
The hair stood up.
Waiting for
the hair
like how
stood
people were waiting for like Mephisto for so long. I mean, I'm mad they put him in Ironheart, which I still have not watched yet. But it's like, okay, you're waiting for him to come, so let's see what they do with him. Yes, I do agree with you, Maverick, that obviously Galactus did seem nerfed. He didn't seem as godlike as he seemed like a threat, obviously, but he seemed like a big kaiju Godzilla. Like I would have liked to see more cosmic from Galactus, you know, like him getting pushed around by Sue and stuff like that. Like, you know, it was, you know, powerful scenes and stuff like that. But As far as the cosmic, obviously they stand no chance. That's why it takes the whole entirety of the MCU just to even slow him down, let alone stop him. And then obviously the ultimate nullifier and all other stuff. But I believe for what they were trying to do in a self-contained movie, introducing him, because we obviously know he's not destroyed. So we have, Secret Wars and everything else to see him, his actual power. We can't say that he's nerfed yet because we didn't even see him doing it. He was hungry. And if you guys are, fans of like the comics, how much Galactus, varies in power.
You think he was hungry?
Hunger.
I think you're being generous. I don't think he was hungry. He just ate the scene prior.
Well, if he ate the scene prior, but remember,
or 2 scenes prior.
But yeah, they did say it was a bigger planet. So they did say, yeah,
it was a bigger planet than Earth, right? Bigger, yeah. This is why we have to do spoilers, y'all.
That is true.
Well, this is why we have to do spoilers, because we have to quantify our positions, and we really can't do that intelligently without giving away what happened. And I would agree with my boy Maverick that this was better than Superman.
For
absolutely,
sure. Yeah, absolutely,
hands down. Absolutely. No argument from us on that.
We definitely in agreement.
I think that's a consensus for anybody who's seen both at this point, that it was definitely better than Superman. And if you guys want, we can come back and do a Superman review. We were trying to be generous and wait for people to that we know to have seen it already, but y'all just taking too long. Y'all taking too long. 2 weeks and y'all ain't see Superman. I'm sorry. Regardless of what you think, if you Snyder or Gunn, just as a fan of the medium, if you're a proclaimed fan and you haven't seen it in 2 weeks, even just to smear it, I got a problem with that. Okay, come on, man. You might get your fandom card, your geek card revoked on that note. But it was it. So we can't do our assessment without giving away spoilers, obviously, right?
For sure.
And so the nerfing of Galactus and Silver Surfer, Shia LaBeouf, was apparent. Okay, this is why I gave it a 6, and my buddy Afro says that I am always harsher than Jay, and there's a reason for that. Number one, I'm older than Jay. I've been around a lot longer. Okay, and my anticipation is also tempered with a little bit of creative bias, so to speak. Right? Creative bias, so to speak. And so I know too much on the creative side. And so like when I'm looking, it's hard for me to turn that side off. Me and Jay, we sit next to each other throughout the whole show and we going back and forth. It's hilarious. You know what I mean? Talking about what we see, what we don't see.
Yeah, we watching the movie, but we like critiquing the movie while we're watching it. It's like, I know some people like, can y'all even enjoy it? No, we're enjoying it, but it's like we're always thinking like how close can you get to the source material, and we talking about even nerfing a Surfer and Galactus, it has to fit within the MCU. Like it has to be believable. The stuff in comics, obviously the scale of, even they talk like Odin, like they destroy galaxies when they fight. Like come on, we have to keep it like, come on, like it has to be nerfed somewhat. Even we saw what they did with Sentry from a million exploding suns to 1,000. Like even in that's still crazy, but they have to.
They have to diminish the characters to some degree. I think my problem is the extent in which they did so. Right? The extent in which they did so. I don't want to give away too much to people, but the way Galactus was defeated, they asked too much for you to suspend your disbelief. They asked for they put that suspension of disbelief on too high a shelf, in my opinion.
For sure.
Okay. As someone that you can be a passive fan of the mythos and it's asking too much for you to buy that this is plausible. You understand what I'm saying? I will say that I think the movie could have benefited from easily another 40 minutes of runtime. I think so. I think it could have benefited from another 40 minutes of runtime. I think Shia LaBeouf was, and it's not about her being the Silver Surfer. We know that was the initial problem. And let me back up. I think I was more relieved that most of those who speculated on the movie were wrong. Okay, it was not a girl boss movie. It espoused family values, right? Yes. We got to see the traditional family unit without any curveballs. I was holding my breath for curveballs, right? Come on now. Yeah. Seriously, I was holding my breath for it. Okay. Sure. But a man loving a woman with a kid, family, uncles, your traditional attractions and dynamics, I was there for it. Okay, I was there for it. Vegas Disney RTV says the movie was so good. Yeah, stand by Vegas. We gonna dive into that, but it was good. The soul with 3 O's, but Fatal J says a straight up banger. What? I would not expect that from Fatal J. Would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, for sure.
I would not expect that from Fatal J. Fatal J is throwing us curveballs right about now with the straight up banger. Sure. All right. So what I have to say is they asked me to turn my brain off too much. There's an expectation of suspension whenever you're going to deal with comic book material, right? That's the geek part of us. Okay. I'm ready to dial down my grasp of reality. I'm okay with turning it down. I think they asked for way too much, especially when you know the mythos. Okay. Like, sure. There's no way they're outrunning the Silver Surfer. There is no way that ship is outrunning the Silver Surfer in space. Yeah. Give me a break. Right. Okay. Yeah. I do also, I'm gonna try to go back and forth with pros and cons. I had no problem with grandson being there. I felt that there was nothing inappropriate for him, unlike Superman, which I had problems with some of the language and the violence. You think I'm saying? This felt like
for the next generation of geeks. Like wanted to,
I felt it was safe. You know, I felt it was safe. My man says Transformers, the movie did with Unicron. I cannot disagree. But the comic book geek, I'm glad to see Galactus in his real form. I'm sorry. Give me that. I'm there for that. What I wasn't there for was how dialed down he was.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Jay? I see your gears going.
Yeah, it's like Fatal J. Jay, appreciate that. Sending Frank Galactus will return with the real Silver Surfer as his hero. Oh, I like that. That sounds cool. Appreciate the love, Fatal J. Thank you for the super chat.
Thanks so much, bro.
For me, I did not like that they made Galactus seem like a big giant versus the cosmic force that he is. Even like putting him, I guess, in the teleportation would seem like to be the negative zone or something like that. Mm-hmm. We know he can TP right back. Like comic book fans know. Like Galactus would have just teleported right back. He would have TP'd right back.
That's not a thing.
It's not getting him away with that. For me, I would have felt it was better. Which I thought what they were going to do if they lost and he destroyed the planet and they actually escaped the dimension, which is how they get in the MCU. I would have liked that they lost. That would have had more weight if they had lost. I'm like,
you wanted them to lose?
I want them to lose because then they would have came into the MCU humble.
Reed Richards would have been no good. He was already like really somber, because of what he did to his family and to Grimm. He would have crashed out if they lost, bro. He would have crashed out.
But then when it comes to Secret Wars, though, it would have made him better for it. It would have his hubris of like thinking he knows everything. It would have made him like more grounded. So then when he's talking to a Banner or Hank Pym, like he can like, no, I know more than y'all. Like I've been here before, you haven't. Like this is going to cost you everything. If it would have made it more weight to it and more weight to Galactus.
It would have given a gravitas and a stronger subplot. For sure. To it. Yeah. All right, so let's talk subplots really quick. Let's geek out a little bit. Now we had this conversation in the comic shop, and we are coming back with the comic shop talk, y'all. We already been talked to the guys. We were trying to find a schedule that worked for everybody, so we can do comic shop talk live again. So we can have these comic shop discussions live,
like Infinity War,
for your enjoyment. But let's talk better options. Okay, everybody was up in arms about Shalabal, right? You know me, I kind of shelved it because, again, I get it, but I don't get it. Remember what I said in the shop way before the movie came out? Who would have been a better option? And you all in the chat, y'all let me know. Let me know if y'all vibe with this suggestion. They would have done better if they had Frankie Ray, Nova, as the Herald of Galactus.
Yeah,
right? If you wanted to, if you wanted to, yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
Mm-hmm. Even with Johnny, like it would have made more sense.
It would have made more sense. The love interest, right?
Yeah,
and so Tommy, me and Tommy were talking, and he was like, "Well, Solo, how do you deal with the fact that she's a mutant?" I said, "Well, number one, it introduces mutants, right? Because Frankie Ray was a mutant who became a herald, right? Right? She had fire powers, right?
She already had fire powers, right?
She already had fire powers." He juices her up with the power cosmic. She becomes gold skin. So now if you have to have a reflective herald that's female, Frankie Ray fits the bill. Nova,
and we already seen Silver Surfer,
So she meets the burden of whatever they might have been thinking. I always try to think, what were they thinking when they made this choice? Not just that it was a bad choice, but what probably led to that choice. So all things being equal, Frankie Ray also would have had a stronger subplot with Johnny, with the love affair. Mm-hmm. Well, me and Tommy, he's like, well, Solo, how would you explain that no one remembers Galactus? I would have said Galactus wiped everyone's memory and hers as part of the deal.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? As part of the deal, for the agreement, he wipes the memory of the planet and her memory, and then Johnny somehow starts to trigger her memory. She starts to have flashbacks. I think that's more organic. You dig what I'm saying?
Could have did that. I mean, they could have changed her origin. They could have made her an astronaut that got lost.
That's how
she met her. Right. That's how she met Galactus, and they actually went up there looking for her.
Yeah.
On a mission to save her instead of Galactus. There's many ways they could have did it. But I definitely agree with the Frankie Ray. I didn't think about that, but that would have been. I would have been good with that, and then the fire thing. Then it would have made the connection more like.
We made the connection more synergistic.
Yeah, between her and Johnny versus Shalabal, Johnny.
Yeah,
like no, like they
they didn't give any. And Shalabal was almost. She was almost useless. She was unnecessary in many ways. She was unnecessary in my opinion. She didn't have enough depth. I know that the scene where they give her origin was a reshoot.
Yeah.
Okay. But even in that origin, there was no baby daddy. There was no Norrin Radd. So I'm like, they could have put Norrin Radd in there. And who was that? Fatal J who said it? If they would have had Norrin Radd just as a cameo as the father on the beach with them, now you could have justified the Silver Surfer returning. You dig what I'm saying?
Taking her place or something. Yeah. Her being a failed hero.
This is a J question. What's the difference between the power cosmic and just cosmic? Like Captain Marvel, Thor are just cosmic or radiated?
So the power cosmic within itself is it's a concept. The same thing as the Phoenix Force, the same thing as the Enigma Force. They're all like if you think of them all, they're kind of like all individual infinity gems. You need them all to help make up the cosmic hierarchy within the universe. So the power cosmic is wielded by Galactus alone, and only he can bestow it to whoever his heroes to be or whoever he wants to give it to, i.e. if he wants to transfer it to Franklin. So like the power cosmic, the Phoenix Force, separate power sources, and kind of like the Green Lanterns, it's just a power source within the universe that needs to be for the universe to go on. Characters like Thor, they are cosmic level beings because their power obviously is planet size. They can control planets. So when they say like cosmic heroes, those are people obviously who are in space. You got the Guardians and stuff like that. But you got people like Captain Marvel, Thor, usually like they're cosmic heroes as they have spacefaring adventures and they just had different powers. Like Thor is obviously mainly magic, so he's not a cosmic character. He's more magical, but all of his journeys into mystery, it was all into space. Mm-hmm. So that's really the only difference between it. Captain Marvel got her power from some Kree. Well, now they changed her origin, made her some type of Kree hybrid.
And the comic books have to reflect it now.
But yeah, that's what it is. A power cosmic is a power source. That's what it is. Cosmic power heroes, some like Quasar, they get their powers from a different source, but it's not the power cosmic.
Well, can I expand on that just a little bit from the old school Marvel Universe books? I believe the power cosmic is the primal power, right? That was infused in him at the birth of this universe because he was there at it, right? So it's primordial. It's the OG power, okay? The only Galactus wields because he was there at the birth of the universe. All other, even like the Phoenix Force and those, that was the force of creation that came afterwards, after the death of his old universe, the one that preceded it. I always equate the power cosmic to the OG primordial power. It's raw. It has no real equal, per se. That's how I think of the power cosmic as opposed to cosmic power, cosmic bestowed power. And his heralds have a fraction of it, but even that fraction of it is immeasurable to show you how powerful Galactus is, which like made this power, I told my guy, I kept using the word problematic. It made certain scenes in this movie problematic for me. Knowing that, right? Okay. And so let's ask Glenn Miller. Glenn Miller says, I would have preferred it if they would have left John Malkovich as Red Ghost in the film, whereas they cut the scene to keep it under 2 hours. Yeah. Jay, we talked about that. What you got to say?
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, I wish you'd have been there either, because it felt like the whole first of the half movie, it felt like something was missing. Like something, it was obvious that something was supposed to be there.
Yep.
Which was him, like, so we knew that obviously we had some pieces missing from that, but we just, obviously, if you didn't see the screenshots before, because they had screenshots of him as Rickles and everything, and you said for some reason they just cut out his parts. Like
they cut all of his, cut out his scenes.
Obviously, they were
already recorded and filmed. You can find photos of him with the long hair as the Red Ghost. It was all done, and it didn't make it off the cutting room floor. Again, the editing wasn't disruptive in it, but to your point, you can tell there were some things that were not there. I'm like, there was some blank spots, and I know they didn't want to be too exhaustive. I think that they may have gotten some negative pushback from some of the runtime previously, and I think they were kind of playing it too safe. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they definitely were playing it too safe. I feel like they had room for it.
I'd say 40 more minutes.
Yeah, like 40 more minutes. Yeah, it felt like the movie it didn't feel super long. So I feel like they had more time for the spacing of it and stuff.
Because
like
the runtime was just under 2 hours. I could have done 240.
Yeah, for sure.
I could have done for 240.
Galactus.
Yeah, especially if you would give me some people said, I don't know how I feel about this. I kind of like Galactus just being. We know his origins. Some people, in some of the reviews that I've seen, were requesting that they did some kind of flashback to give insight to Galactus for those who didn't know of him. And I don't hate that. I just think that would have been going too far into the weeds for where they're trying to go. Yeah. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? That's my opinion.
Yeah, to go back to show.
I think they could have given more on Shala Ball, personally, because again, she felt like she was an app. She didn't feel like a complete character. She didn't feel well developed.
Yeah,
you understand? You know what I'm saying? I think there would have been more buy-in to her if she were better developed as a character, where there was more, because her shifting didn't feel natural. Johnny's conversation, there was no real relationship. He was more or less just intrigued by her, but they tried to play it out more than what it was, and I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And she definitely showed nothing that could be remotely considered romantic interest in him, right?
For sure.
And so the fact that, he just has a conversation and plays back some old tracks, and it felt forced to me. It felt forced to me.
That part for sure. No, I definitely felt that a little bit. They did some impressive stuff with her when they did show her speed, like when she went across the planet, taking out the towers. Like that was fire. Like
Glenn Miller agrees with me. Frankie Ray would have been a better choice.
Frankie Ray would have been.
I want to start a petition, Jay. As you as my son, I'm going to leave it up to you to start this petition.
Okay.
Let's get Solo to Hollywood. How many movies have I remade at the comic shop? Seriously. Have I? And most people, I think I'm pretty good at it, because we said it before, like when we had the interview with Mr. Houston. You need professional fans in the room.
Yes,
you don't need just professional directors. You don't need just professional writers. You need professional fans on the projects.
Yeah. for sure.
Maverick
No,
7
absolutely.
says it's like Star Wars, the midichlorians explaining the Force instead of leaving it a mystery. Yeah, you got to explain
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, for sure.
You ain't got to explain everything. There should be some mystery and some intrigue, even if just to build for a later reveal.
Yeah,
If you make it
or if you do actually Galactus movie, like if they
right
chose to do that, you know,
now,
with him.
I
Mhm,
do
go ahead.
think Galactus was a wasted opportunity, and here's why.
Hmm.
In each phase, obviously, they wanted a big bad.
For sure.
The big bad should have been preparing for the arrival of Galactus. That
T-Rex
now
or
you
something.
don't have to nerf him. Would you agree with that? When it takes the Avengers and Fantastic Four, and now you can show
Yeah,
him in all of his awesome,
Avengers.
you know,
Yeah.
si-
If you need
uh,
somebody like somebody like T-Rex or something.
Terex the Tamer.
Yeah, yeah, they're like T-Rex, and then they struggle to stop T-Rex. So it's like
Thank
y'all
you.
struggle to stop him, and then
Right,
here comes Galactus because it will be a struggle. Like they
because
struggle to stop the Berserker.
he's a threat. He's a threat to me greater than Thanos. The way that they frame Thanos, because Thanos needed a tool. Galactus is the power.
Yeah, right, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? He needed the Infinity Gems. He had to collect them. It wasn't the innate power of Thanos himself that made him a threat.
Right.
It was, should he get these cosmic gems to create this incredible weapon. Galactus is older than the universe itself. He's a necessary
Yeah, for
force
sure.
of the cosmos.
He's necessary. Yeah.
Come on, man. Come
Yeah.
on.
No,
And I would have
I
been
feel
there
like
for different. Go ahead. I'm
no,
sorry.
no.
I'm
What
getting
were
a
you
delay.
saying?
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I agree with that. I would have been good if they have if they had made him bigger. I mean, obviously we are where we are now. Again, the fan of me was just glad to see Galactus. I would have liked to see more power. Um, and the way obviously it showed, how powerful Sue was. So it was a nice showing for her.
Mm-hmm.
What I the that I liked the most, and I kept saying that I'm glad they gave Johnny Storr some oomph
They
behind his
did.
power and his
They
attack.
did.
Like he flying through Galactus,
Like
his
a
little
rocket.
turbines, his cords. He's like his fire, like it looks like it hurts. Like it's more like a beam than just a little flamethrower. Like no, they
Right.
actually gave him some weight to his power. Like even he was about to sacrifice himself to take out Galactus, and he knew what had killed them. But
That
they
would have been a
gave
Nova
him
Blast. I figured that was going to be
it
a
would have
Nova
been Nova
Blast.
Blast. Yeah, they're like
Mm-hmm.
that. And then I'm like, that would have been tough because now you got almost two Fantastic Four members, deceased in one movie, So
Yeah.
that I'm glad they did Johnny right. We didn't see much from the Thing. He was kind of background a little bit. The other three, I feel like had more weight than the Thing. He was just kind of there.
Okay.
He had his little moment, but it
There was
wasn't
enough
no
things for him to
Alicia.
punch that you could really buy.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly. You have to keep
You
it's
know.
so much.
But
He
but
really
but but Eben, I forget his last name. He acted the Thing, even though it was CG. He carried that role very well with what he had. He was the emotional center to the family. He was the core. He was the core of the family. Hey, OM007, peace. Hello, best superhero film I've seen. We have been in a drought. 007, we have been in a drought, and I kind of think it benefited from that drought.
Yeah,
Honestly, I think it
for sure.
elevated. We said the same thing about Brave New World, right? That it wasn't
Yeah,
an absolute dumpster fire, despite it not being a great movie. I think it was
right.
better than it should have been because we've been so starved for some decent media from Marvel.
Yeah,
You know, Vegas Disney says that they think the Thing had scenes deleted to streamline the story. I think I heard that too.
possibly. Yeah,
I think the Thing had some things taken
yeah.
out.
It seemed like he had some things taken out. Like I just don't know why they didn't do Alicia. That's the only thing I
Alicia
didn't understand.
Masters. Yeah, I didn't get old
Yeah,
girl from Poker Face.
they even brought up Puppet Master, but didn't
They
even.
did and didn't have
Yeah, it's
Alicia.
like Puppet Master. So why you didn't have Alicia? She could have made some comments about her dad, and then I would have gave more weight to Ben because even for him, that would have made, it could have drew some type of schism within the family, because
Yeah.
he's like, what about Alicia? Like, my Alicia gonna die if we don't give up this baby. Like, so
Right.
it could have added some more depth, into the story. So some of those things I want. That's what makes it a 7 out of 10. That's why
Right.
it's not perfect.
And see, what makes it a 6 is, again, the high shelf for the suspension of disbelief. So let's talk about the climax here that
Mhm.
was problematic. Again, brother KG, I'm sorry I keep using that word. That's all I got. It's problematic if you watch this. Okay, it was problematic because they had already set the precedent for Galactus, right? And this is a problem with inconsistent storytelling. We saw Galactus. His ship does the processing for him, right? His world ship, right? Ta-2. Ta-2 does the process for him. So we already saw Ta-2 obliterate a planet.
A planet literally drove.
Okay.
Through it, yeah.
We also saw Shalabal in her flashback teleported up to Galactus. We also saw the tractor beam hold the Fantastic Four ship in place and pull it in. Why is he getting off his ship to go pick up Franklin and walking through the streets? Why?
Yeah.
I understand you want to give scale, but you do that by setting precedent early on in the movie so that we buy it.
For sure. Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Destroying the tractor beam before you even leave. Something that simple. Ben just destroying it, just running through it, and he destroyed the tractor beams. I have to go do this myself.
I'm like, why would he get out of his ship to come down and collect Franklin?
Right, for sure.
That made no sense to me whatsoever. Okay, no Marvel badly placed humor like James Gunn. People, y'all are butchering Superman. We got to do a Superman conversation. Okay, we got to do a Superman conversation. We got to come back soon and do a Superman conversation. I know it's been 2 weeks, but folks are here for it, so we're gonna give it to them. What do we think about Mole Man? What do you think about Mole Man, Jay?
Thought he was funny. It's the guy from Cobra Kai.
I haven't seen Cobra Kai, so I didn't catch that.
Yeah, he's from Cobra Kai. He was a joke in Cobra Kai, which is kind of like how the Mole Man was. The Mole Man actually has some level of intelligence, so I would like to see some of that. But I guess he's side character from Fantastic Four. He's not like the biggest threat to him. Him and his Moloids and stuff like that. So I feel like he was cool.
I think he was just enough relief.
Yeah, I would like to see him a little bit more dirty. No, he is the Mole Man. Mole Man's dirty. Like, he lives on the, like, I would like to see more dirt, a little filthy man, he was kind of.
Did you upset that you didn't see the little mole thingies? His
the Moloids. Yeah, I see the Moloids. We saw the big mole monster from that like, the first Fantastic Four issue. But you didn't see no little Moloids and no little his people underneath in the subterranean stuff like that.
You just saw dirty people with mining stuff on. They all had mining stuff on.
I'm like, man, show me some more. I want to see some Moloids.
Some Moloids.
Let me see the Moloids.
With the big buggy eyes and the icky yellow skin.
That makes them creepy. Give us some
They
Moloids.
are creepy. They are creepy.
Yeah, you gave us CG
but again, that's inconsistent because we see the flashback to the cover with the subterranean monster, and they're fighting it.
Yeah.
So we already know there's other creatures down there. So you could have gave him some more. It probably didn't make the budget. Now, what I did like, everyone, and so for those of you who don't know, Universe 828 was a tribute to Jack Kirby's birthday, August 28th, right? So that's why it was Universe 828. And the fact that they had a Kirby stand-in in the comic book shop when Silver Surfer landed, I'm like, that's how you do the dude. That's how you do the king.
Very subtle.
That's how you do the king. You know what I mean? Those who caught it, caught it. G says, I believe with what was said earlier that Galactus, and not for the FS to say to another settling.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would have liked that. They would have lost. Like, I would have liked for them to lose because we had the 3 other Fantastic Four movies. They all won, and all of them.
Yeah.
So, and obviously with the the advent of Deadpool and Wolverine, we know that it is somewhat canon because of the multiverse thing where we had Johnny Storm.
Right.
So we've seen it already. They beat Galactus, they beat Doom, and then obviously that terrible Fantastic Four movie with Michael B. Jordan. We don't even gonna talk about that.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't even want to talk about that.
We won't talk about
But and I thought those Fantastic movies because I was a kid when those came out. I loved those movies. I had the toys and everything.
You did.
I loved them. Even with the metal skin Doom and the skin was peeling. Like for as a kid, I thought it was cool. And then when Silver Surfer came and he's absorbing missiles like that for a kid, I was like, yo, that is Silver Surfer, yo. Like that was good. The movie, it had like to have seen them lose, and it would have added stakes for when Galactus does.
It would have been alley-oop. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that because it would have been another expanded version of the hero's journey as far as storytelling. They take the loss. Reed has to come out of his funk to help them win. So another universe isn't lost. I get that. Or even case in point, that Reed could have lost the setup for the other Reed, and he could have become the Maker in his trauma.
Yeah. Could have been the Maker, yep.
He could have became the Maker.
That would have been good. Yeah,
come on now, get Solo to Hollywood.
Hey, that would have been good.
That would have been cold. That would have been cold. All right, get Solo to Hollywood, y'all.
They all lost.
The one that lost becomes the Maker.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
I would have liked that.
Afro says you have a very unique setup. I like hearing the Gen X point of view.
Has added. That's why you gotta be in a room together, yo. You see how just adds together, like that's how you bring it together. That's how you make a movie, and then the fans like, oh, like and he already seemed kind of like Pedro Pascal's already seemed kind of like tortured. He
was because of what he did with Ben and the family. They didn't play that up enough though, because I was telling Tommy at the shop today that I get that he's tortured and he feels guilt because he didn't plan as he should have for what happened to them. But the only person that really suffered was Ben.
Yeah.
Was the thing. You dig what I'm saying? And that's why we give that tortured Ben in the comics. And so he would not have been guilty for his whole family because everybody was pretty much fine. Actually, they got upgraded.
No, you're right, Glenn. You're right. Glenn, they should have killed them all. They should have killed them all. They should have made, except for Reed, he should have became a Maker. You right, Glenn. You 100% right. That's what should have happened. They should have lost. The Maker should have came. Him and Doom would have had some type of beef in Doom War, Secret Wars, whatever. Adding the Maker in there, it would have made it a lot more interesting. They think he's a hero, but he's not.
He's not. He's not. Yes,
you think he's a hero, but he's not.
But he's not. He's the Maker.
Yeah, he's the Maker, or he wants to kill Galactus, or he wants to destroy cosmic entities, and now he's like this universal, big player. Like, yes, that's what they should have did. They should have did that. They already give us that. I mean, we already had the first Reed Richards, then we had
Glenn is vibing with you for some reason. Yeah. He says the Avengers lost before anyway, and that's what set up the movie. That's what made me pivot when you said that, Jeff. I thought about the Avengers, like, the Avengers lost too.
Yes, they lost too. It would have been great, yo.
And Thor was tortured as a result.
Yep.
He said, "Go for the head."
Yeah, he said, and they all pay, and they got the callbacks for it. So you got the Maker, you got Doom, you got obviously we see if you guys, I don't know if you guys are back into reading the Ultimate Universe where the Maker has created his own reality, but now you got him warring against cosmic entities and stuff like that. Like now you got this whole big scheme. Now you got your next big movie from Reed Richards losing his family. And then you got the other. Come on. We saw the other Reed from what was it? Scarlet Witch from Multiverse of Madness. So
this is what your mom would call a geek spree. This is what your mom. When we did, then he was a kid.
So good.
When he was a kid and we used to do this, his mom used to call him geek spree. It's like y'all are going on a geek spree. I'm about to make a geek spree graphic for the channel. It's a geek spree time where we start playing.
Man, he get his face burnt by the power cosmic, so he can't fix it. Because it's the power cosmic, so he got that Maker. Oh man, that would have been
fire.
That would have been fire, yo.
That would have been fire.
They would have had an MCU.
But here's the thing. Now we're talking about a 3-hour movie, and we would have been there for it. We would have been there for it. I think the movie suffered in its rating for me. I still give it a strong 6. Not mad at a 7. You have to be a non-canon aware person to give it an 8.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. But 3 hours, it probably would have got an 8 for me. Yeah. If they would have let it breathe. They didn't let it breathe. You know what I'm saying? I think they were afraid.
Said you must take me back on.
That's my wife. That's his mama. She said for
Yeah.
sure. Geeks
Yeah.
free, babe. That's my wife.
Not
That's
Miracle,
Mama
not
Bear.
Miracle Man. Miracle Man is crazy. Nah, we don't want to turn to Miracle Man and Watchmen, y'all. Now that's too dark. That's too
No, yeah,
dark.
that's way too dark.
Yeah, nah, Miracle Man. I love me some Miracle and I love me some Watchmen. It was the Alan Moore. It's both Alan Moore books, ain't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love me some Miracle
He
Man.
trying to make a Plutonian. You know what I
I
mean?
don't want to be that dark, but man, I want some stakes, yo. Like I want some stakes. I don't want no more Marvels. I don't want no Thor: Love and Thunder. It don't feel like no
No,
stakes.
no.
Like
It's got to be
and
some
then
real. See, this is where comics diverge from other media. Western comics, unlike manga,
manga.
right?
Yeah.
Manga has real stakes. Most mangas, they have an end in mind. Characters die, right? It may take 100, 200 issues, right? But characters will die in manga. One of the biggest problems in Western comics has been the lack of stakes, the plot armor on all characters. Okay, you can't do that in movies. It does not work in movies. We've gotten away with it for the better part of 80 plus years, almost 100 years of Western comics. But in mainstream media, would you agree? Plot armor can't be a thing. It's got to be real stakes. Characters, we have to see characters die on a big screen. I think that's what made Endgame memorable.
That's what made it
Was
good.
Iron Man. You know what I mean?
3000. Like, bro, that was
bro.
Like the stakes. Like you need stakes, yo. Like,
are you kidding me?
Trust me. I don't want to see my characters die neither. But y'all gotta. It's different now because of the whole multiverse thing. So nobody's actually really dead, yo.
This is her geek spree emoji.
Oh my goodness.
Show mama. See, they kind of did that with Xander already.
Xander, what you mean, Xander?
Xander, what are you talking about? Vegas Disney.
Yeah, I don't know.
Explain for us, so we know what you're talking about.
I don't want to I don't want it to be dark, but
no, it's comics. It's not meant to be dark.
Yeah, it's comics. It's not meant to be dark.
I think that was the biggest problem that for those non-Snyder.
Oh, here you go. Yeah, I knew you were finna say that as soon as you brought in Snyder.
That was the problem. That was the one of the biggest axes to grind was how dark Man of Steel was. I didn't mind it because it was Snyder's vision and how I gave him artistic license in that. And the character he was darker than the Superman we know, but he was still at his core Superman in many ways, in my opinion, until he snapped Zod's neck. That's where I felt Snyder lost the room. You dig what I'm saying? He lost the room there. But Thanos destroyed Xander before going to Earth. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We got to catch up with you, Vegas. Sorry.
Right. Oh, the planet. Yeah. Was the Nova's planet?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Nova Corps planet. Yeah.
Afros says, I agree. Plot armor doesn't work on the big screen or TV. Plus, there is no sliding time scale as real act. Exactly.
That's all I'm thinking about. I'm looking at Pedro Pascal. I'm like, bro, and Invisible. I'm like, they're going to get older. Like, you're taking these roles at older ages, and in your 50s and 60s. Like, how long does it take them to make a movie? Well, like 5-6 years. Like, they're gonna
if it's good.
If it's
2 or 3 if it's bad.
2 or 3 if it's bad. So like they're aging. Like, how many movies you gonna have? Like, and they got other obligations and stuff like that. If they decide to keep acting like so. These are things you got to think about. You got to think about replacing them. So you have to set things up like the multiverse to replace people, or just add a different actor and just slide them in.
I still say T'Challa should have been recast.
He should have, yeah.
Should have been recast.
He should have. He's trying all this stuff now.
Chadwick's family agrees. The only person that tried to come off as an authority that said no was Anthony Mackie, and I just thought, dude, you didn't know him, bro. You dig what I'm saying? But he should have been recast. Chadwick would not have had it any other way. He would not want a character of that significance in creative limbo because he's no longer here to play him.
Yeah, now they trying to give him sons and stuff in comics. They tried to give him a white son. They trying all this other stuff. Like, trying to make I think they would have said they casted Ryan Gosling as a new Black Panther or something. They trying a whole bunch of stuff. Like I'm like, no,
Yeah.
y'all should just recasted that man with somebody else, or like somebody said, or like we seen in What If, give us a different universe Killmonger or something, as T'Challa or as
No, let me ask you this. Let's go down another avenue, because this is the OG in me wanting my geek expression on the big screen. I would have liked to have seen a Watcher and had the ultimate nullifier. You could have kept to the comics for me. That way you would not have had to nerf Galactus.
For sure.
Okay, you would not have had to diminish what he is capable of. You could have brought in Uatu, right? As it could have been the signals. It could have been Uatu trying to interfere on the sly.
For sure.
You understand what I'm saying? And granted, it's the ultimate Deus Ex Machina, the ultimate nullifier. But the fact that we didn't know what it was, like, that was masterful for its era. We got to admit, look, we can't be so nostalgic that we actually elevate the properties of yesteryear beyond what they actually were creatively. These guys were not creative geniuses. The landscape was barren. There was, right, so it was a blank slate for them creatively. But the ultimate null in the comics, that you didn't know what it did initially. They explained that decades later. You just know this thing that looked like a lighter terrified Galactus. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
And a deal was struck lest it be clicked. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would have been there for that. I'm sorry. That's the geek in me.
No, for sure.
He should not have been defeated by Sue and the Surfer. The Surfer, has the Surfer ever beat Galactus, historian Jay? Has the Surfer on his own power ever defeated his master?
Has he ever beat him?
Yes.
On his own power?
When he's fed. We're not talking about starved.
No, I'm talking about has he ever beat no. Like actually like 1-on-1, 1v1. The fallen one.
The fallen one.
Yeah, it was the fallen one. Yeah, but other than that, no. Not that I can think of. No. He always assists though. He always assists, and he gives him like a little, because if he had a percentage of Galactus power, I'll say it's like 5% or something like that versus the whole 100.
Right.
Because so Surfer can like destroy planets, but again, Scott, you talking about Skyfather beings.
Afro says he was surprised we didn't get the Watcher. You could have gave us a Uatu, man, and he didn't have to be here for a long time. Yes, also the Watcher should have made. Thank you.
I would like to see the Watcher, because it was something that was above Reed. I honestly believe
it was beyond Reed.
It was beyond.
It was beyond their technology. At the time, he could not have crafted anything.
Yeah,
you dig what I'm saying? You already have them in space. There could have been so many different ways you could have worked in the Watcher path. I was actually thinking like the signals, right? The garbled signals. I actually think, they may be setting up for the Watcher, trying to, interfere on the sly.
Wonder Man. August Maverick asked, what will Wonder Man bring to the MCU?
Nothing.
Unfortunately,
nothing.
And I love Wonder Man. I am a Wonder Man fan. I feel like he is one of the
OP fan. Period.
Well, this is the Listen,
Give
Linda.
Context beyond he's a flying brick. Give context.
He is a flying brick. But Wonder Man is one of the most underrated heroes. He is literally Thor. His punches have been compared to Mjolnir as far as the striking. He is a ionic being. If you know anything about science and ions and how powerful they are and how they interconnect, you're talking about somebody that can cross in from just being a flying brick into being like a reality manipulator if you manipulate the ions the right way. Like Wonder Man always has had potential, but they've always dumped him down. Like he's been compared to Sentry and strength and up, but he's always
like he's gotten stronger over the years. Actually,
yeah, he's gotten stronger. They made him a pacifist. Like all this, he can teleport, energy project. Like Wonder Man, I love incoming Wonder Man too. But as far as the MCU, we got Sentry now, Hulk, Thor. Luke Cage, if they do actually bring him back, obviously not strong as Wonder Man. We got the Thing now, so we got enough strong characters. Captain Marvel, obviously, they made her so powerful. So it's like
Right.
that's one thing I don't. They put her on way too high of a horse. That still makes me upset how they put her in like she was a messiah. I'm like, I
Okay.
didn't like that. But no,
Maverick.
I don't think he bring anything, unfortunately.
Yeah. Maverick also says that I guess there was a storyline where Star of Galactus turned into a star. Silver Surfer turns his energy siphoning machines against them. Like I said, there's no beating a well-fed Galactus. Not happening.
Yeah. Warfare Galactus,
Not
but like
happening.
with just raw power, like this man has. Well, I think he
Right.
and Hickman's of Fantastic Four, like he like killed like a Celestial and was like fighting three at one time. Like Galactus is on a different level when fed, and then you got obviously got Herald of Thunder, and then you got the recent book where he got into the dark dimension and absorb. So Galactus fully fed,
He's a hoss.
yeah, he's a top tier being for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also talks about Abraxas. Allows
Yeah,
them to
yeah.
see Abraxas. Yeah. Abraxas is
Which
another one of those high concept that
yeah, high concept.
I dread those characters. Um, Galactus
Especially
is technically high
for new
concept,
fans.
but
Yeah.
he's not that high concept, right? When you start getting into the metaphysical beings and stuff
Yeah.
like that, I think creators start to lose their way, and it's hard to maintain cohesion in the characters, you know. And so I think they need to kind of. I'm thinking about doing a solo says about how high is too high concept for creators.
For sure.
Yeah, I have a lot. Me and our boy talked about that. And he agrees with me. Teaching this at Kapow, I always try to warn our students. You know, make it attainable, make it accessible, right?
Yeah.
Relatable to it. But when you go too high concept and you start wanting your reader or your viewer to buy into things that you can't even properly quantify, it's dangerous. Okay. Oh, Glenn, thank you so much. Glenn Mary says,
Thank
we
you,
are
Glenn.
cool.
We appreciate that, guy.
I'm okay for old
Glenn.
granddad, Glenn. I'm okay.
Thank you, Glenn.
He's cooler because he's younger, but I'm cool. I'm cool, G Daddy. I'm cool, G Daddy. Right? I'm the coolest G Daddy they know. All right. Thank you so much. We got a question. Do you guys think they rushed the Franklin Ridge arc by letting us know his potential too early? I think personally, and I want to get your thoughts on this, Jay, because this is really up your alley with these hyper powerful thingamajiggies characters. I think Franklin, aside from the horrible baby CG, but you can't get a baby to do what they needed him to do. So I had to show Mercy that, right? You're not going to find a baby actor to do what they needed Franklin to do as far as acting. I think the whole ending was problematic, personally. Okay. I think that they didn't give enough lead into his powers. Quite the contrary. They kind of dismissed it with Galactus saying he hides his true potential from you. Why?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why? I think, yes, he resurrected her from the dead. Exactly. That was yes, Maverick. He resurrected Sue from the dead, and I think the eye glow was a little too subtle of an effect, right?
Yeah.
To show,
I want to see like a pulse or something.
A pulse or something.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, like a boom. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, or even his eyes glow. I'd rather his eyes glow than Sue's eyes glow.
Right.
You know, because it's his power. Let's jump to the. Can we jump to the end screen really quick and we can come back? I would have preferred that mid-credit scene to have been older Franklin visiting younger Franklin to show how powerful he was.
Yeah, like in
we get that in the comics, right?
Cool. Yeah,
that would have been cool having older Franklin, and Sue walks in, he says, "Mom," and she just freezes. You get what I'm saying? But he's older, he's got the beard, like in the comic. You know what I'm saying? That would have gave us, this dude is powerful. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts on that? I didn't care for the Doom thing personally.
I mean, I get the point of the Doom thing. If you make
and that was the Russo brothers, by the way. That wasn't the director of the movie. The Russo brothers directed some of the scenes in that, and I think they did that mid-credit. And they're doing Doomsday.
if you're doing Doomsday or Secret Wars, and obviously we need a power source to bring all of these realities and things together. So if you're using Franklin for that, that's what I understand.
Right.
So that's what I saw for. Obviously they showed Latveria in the movie, and Doom was not there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we saw he did to her, assembly or whatever. If that's what they're using him for, I didn't hate I didn't hate the ending. It was cool to see was the first hint of Robert Downey as Doom, which I don't know how they're gonna. I still,
It's gonna be an evil Tony from another
yeah.
alternate universe. Yeah.
Um, as Merrick said, yeah, because there is no Beyonder. So if you need somebody comparable, to power, obviously Franklin, is that he's a reality shaper.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I guess that would have been cool. The Doom one, but it's not like the Doom one wasn't bad because I didn't expect him to be around that corner. I thought when you were in there, you thought Franklin grew himself up like he did in the comic book. That's what I thought too. But then I
Yeah.
saw Doom, I was like, oh, I was like, okay, like I liked it. I as a fan, I liked it though. Like I didn't mind it. I didn't mind
He
it.
looked like Michael Jackson Maverick because that was the comics
Oh
reflect
yeah,
the era of the times. It's
oh man,
inevitable. All media
Michael was
does.
him. Michael was him in the
Yeah,
80s.
all media does. Michael was him.
He
Michael
was
was
him.
he was the gloved one.
Michael was him, yo. So
He was
yeah,
the
no, I
gloved
mean, I
one.
don't. Yeah, I'm not. I would think that would have been cool too, but then again, you have to tie it all in and stuff. I feel like Doom was simpler. He is a golden carrier for him. He's the. I feel like Franklin's going to be the prize that everybody's trying to that are fighting
He's
for
gonna be a
what they can
MacGuffin.
do. Yeah, he's the MacGuffin.
He's the
What can we
MacGuffin.
do
He's
with
the
his
ultimate
power?
MacGuffin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I get that. I get that.
He said Franklin Richards heals Dr. Doom's face scars. That could have been what he was doing. He was touching his face.
Could have
That would
been.
have been cool.
I think that would have
Or
been
trying
premature because
for sure.
I think that would be premature. Only because I think that would be a huge creative misstep, right?
You
Because
didn't
there's
see any
so much
energy or
weight
anything.
in that
I don't
moment, right? And there's so
know.
much gravitas as to why Doom hides his face.
Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
trauma. It's scar. Unless they plan on making a full circle moment, I doubt that's what's happening there, right? Because even when they did it in
Yeah.
the comics, it was
Yeah, and
it's
it's also been in the comics even recently. That one story. I don't know if you read it yet. The one that had the Blue Marvel in it, the Doom story
I
with
had
the
not.
with the black hole in the multiverse. Anyway, he ends up going to another multiverse and meeting a Doom that's him. That has everything. He has the family. His face is fine. He has all the powerful artifacts, Ultimate Nullifier, Darkhold, but
Mm-hmm.
he's made world peace. And Doom ends up destroying it because he's like, no, like I'm gonna do it my way. I ain't gonna do it by no unity.
Mm.
But he even said to Doom, he was like, let's be fair. He said, anytime, anytime, with your intelligence, you could have been fixed your face. You did this to yourself because you feel like. And so he doesn't even need Franklin to really do that. And obviously, we didn't see any eye glow or anything
Right.
in the movie, so I don't think that's what he was doing. I think he was just, I don't know. They were just trying thought something that would be cool and nice cliffhanger to show.
No,
Doom
they don't want to
periphery.
hide RDJ's face. They don't. What I fully see them doing, but here's the problem. Here's the problem. Okay, they don't want to hide RDJ's face because of obvious reasons. Because he is a megastar, right? But they're going to have to give us Doom. We will not buy into a Doom who does not wear the mask, right?
He's Iron Man, yeah.
Right. We won't buy into that, and so
Gonna be infamous
uh,
Iron Man. Infamous Iron Man, y'all.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
again, Doom without the mask is par and parcel to who he is, right?
Yeah.
If you like, imagine in the mythos a character like Doom but with no mask or suit,
It's his logo. The
right?
mask
That's
is
his
his logo.
brand, right?
Yeah,
It's his
it's his
brand.
brand. Yeah.
That's who that character is. And so what I expect with RDJ is either um, a face healing scene, right? Okay, or him being in prosthetics, but he can still emote, or again, he's Doom, he's
Yeah.
healed, he takes off the mask, you see him, and somehow things revert, but they're gonna have to give us the mask. There's no way
I'm more
around
inter-
that. Huh?
even more so than I'm more interested in RDJ, his ability
His range.
to be somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because for a lot of it, Tony Stark, Sherlock Holmes were the same person.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
want to see if he can be Doom. Like Doom in the comic books is
Doom
the
is
well written
heavy,
Doom.
dude. But
He is my
RDJ's a
favorite.
bad boy. Let's not forget he brought
He
U.S.
is.
Marshals good, but even better was what he did in Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder, yeah, I'm a man playing a man that's disguised as another
Dude,
man.
I was surprised. It
Yeah.
was comedic, but he killed that. He killed it. He killed it in Tropic Thunder, and so I'm fully confident that RDJ has range. You know, he's an actor's actor.
Yeah.
But think about it. These movies, he's just played himself.
He's just played himself.
He's played himself. Tony Stark is really like, if you've ever watched the documentary on Netflix, that's who he is. He's witty. He's you know,
how he, everything he does, the little quirky stuff he does with his hands, and he
that's who he is.
That's him.
That's him.
Yeah.
So Tony Stark was one of the easiest roles for him, in my opinion, because he just had to be himself. You know, actually, sure. when I think about some of the behind the scenes stuff, they had to work in a lot. A lot of his stuff was unscripted. Yeah. That RDJ historically did, it was unscripted, and they just went with it because that's how good he is. You know.
Yeah.
Glenn says they wonder if they'll bring back a different Galactus. I don't know if they bring him back at all.
I don't know. My thing is, what I do like is with the whole multiverse thing, they have a reason why people can look different. Mm-hmm. So if it doesn't, I don't obviously Galactus majority had a mask, and we know who was the ensign dude, the guy who was Galactus, whatever. His voice obviously wasn't bad, you know, as Galactus. You know, obviously it's a lot of, you know, audio and stuff put in there and stuff to make it deeper and, you know, give it more gravitas and stuff like that. But him, I don't think he was bad. Even his, you know, the few times he did emote and smile and smirk or something for something they did, because they felt so little to him. I just like, again, as far as I just know, like they just made him seem like a giant. Made him seem like freaking Ant-Man, giant man.
So before we head out, we're allowed over an hour. We got to get ready to jet out here. I got something for Jay that I want to get his input on, because he's that dude when it comes to this. Okay. Dun dun dun. Hot Toys. Fantastic Four. What are your thoughts about the Hot Toys? That thing looks hot.
Oh, that looks really good. Oh, that looks good. The uniforms, again, with it being kind of like a period piece, the uniforms definitely worked.
The set dressing was amazing.
I like how they. I love the everything, the cars, everything, how they dated them.
That whole Jetson retrofuturism.
Yeah. That was definitely a call to a long gone era for sure. So that was on point. But this looks good.
Yeah, this is Hot Toys, and I want to get your your opinion on this one.
Oh God.
That's the Hot Toys Galactus about to drop. Yeah, boy. Look at the little minifigs that attached to him to give him scale.
Oh, okay. Those are minifigs. Oh,
those are minifigs. Cool. Yeah, that actually attached to him.
I got the real Galacti back here, but you know. Nah.
So yeah, this is coming out by Hot Toys, and I know there will be an arm and a leg.
For sure.
That Galactus may have to get got. I don't know about the FF,
but that Galactus is fire though.
Yeah, they did it. They did the scale. I didn't pull up the scale, but he's a nice size compared to that, because Hot Toys are pretty big. You know, I got a couple of Hot Toys.
Yeah, right. You got a couple of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a couple of Hot Toys, and they are pricey, but they're to scale, and their detail is second to none. And so I will be on the lookout for these. That Galactus, though,
I had not seen this. That is nice.
That is nice. All right, so that's all I got. So let us know what you guys think of the Fantastic Four in the chat. Let us know if you want us to come back and revisit Superman. I still have to do a Superman review from one of my other channels, but you guys did a lot of comparisons to Superman. I think we can talk about it. if you guys want to revisit that, and we can James Gunn bash or Snyder
Oh Lord.
bash, whatever suits your fancy. I have no dog in that fight, really, because I'm not a Superman. Despite the Superman stuff you see behind me, Jay knows that's opportunism, right? That
Opportunist. Yeah.
was
He's
opportunism.
definitely a Batman fan for
I'm
sure.
definitely a
There's no
Batman
doubt
fan.
about it.
I'm not that much of a Superman,
Definitely
even
about
though
it.
I was there in 1978 for the premiere of the Donner film with my mom. That holds great affection. I remember that. It's the first movie she ever took me to see was 1978 Superman with Christopher Reeve. River Oaks Theater, all the lights, the spotlights. They had the big old Superman sign stuff, and they had the crystals. All that was in River Oaks, Calumet City, Illinois. I'll never forget it. I was 8 years old. And so, despite all the nostalgia, still not. They just never handled him well for me in the comics. And so,
No.
yeah, not a Superman fan, but I'm a fan of the medium, and I'm a fan of comics, as is Jay. And let's keep this thing going. Love to hear your comments. Love to hear your feedback. Please be respectful and be kind. It costs nothing to be kind, but we like to keep it geek here. You know, that's what we always say. Keep it geek. You know, this is a family show. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy our fandom, and let's give it some grace. What do you think, Jay? In all our criticisms that we hear on YouTube, you guys, listen. Now, this is where I got to be the old gray dude in the room. Me and Eddie talk about it all the time at the shop. Don't we, Jay? We remember a time when none of this stuff existed. When we were kids saying, what if, what if, what if? When our idea of dreams of comic characters coming to life was a bodybuilder spray painted green wearing green slippers running through the streets, Lou Ferrigno, right? That was the height of our fandom. Christopher Reeve took it to another level. Donner took it to another level. And so I think we are spoiled for choice in our criticisms because heaven forbid the fandom and the superhero genre just ceases in media.
Yeah.
Then what will we have to talk about? The world, I think, will be a much grayer place. You know, so you can like what you like, you can dislike, but remember, man, we are spoiled for choice right now. We really are. And so we have to take everything with a grain of salt, even in our criticisms. Let's keep this industry popping. Let's keep giving them reasons to make.
They doing better. I mean, they trying. They doing
They're
better.
pivoting.
Thunderbolts was not bad.
Wasn't bad.
Superman was not bad. Fantastic Four was not bad. They trying to make a turn. So we just got to work.
We got to let them make it. And I think it's almost like the first time with anything, right?
Yeah.
Every time after that, it's good, but it's never like the first. The first wave of these movies that we got, we were on board for whatever. And that's the truth. Yeah. And they benefited from it. Okay. Now that we've had so much opportunity and misfires granted, we've gotten a little spoiled and a little harsh in our expectations. Okay. Maverick says, let's answer his question. Top 5 superhero movies ever as we close out. Jay, what you got?
Personal favorites. Transformers. I think Revenge of the Fallen for me. And it's only for one line. I think it's whichever one had the guy, the Egyptian one that had, I think that was is when Optimus says to Sam, he's like, boy, you came back for me. That is like one of my favorite lines in all of it. That was cool. Boy, you came back for me. I was like, oh, like I got goosebumps. Obviously we got Endgame. Endgame and Infinity War because of the weight of them. Superhero movies. Watchmen's probably my number one because of Rorschach.
Rorschach, no. When he was a kid.
No, when I was in the movie crying.
How old were you when that came out? When the Watchmen came out?
When Watchmen came out, I feel like that was 2007. So I was like 12. Like, man,
we were watching it.
You got to understand, I never read Watchmen. It was too mature for me at that age.
Right. I wouldn't let him read Watchmen.
He wouldn't let me. So when I saw it, everything was new to me. And the lines in there with Rorschach before he died, he was like, without understand and the whole thing, he was like, no truth without compromise. And what are you waiting for? He
Mm-hmm.
was like, do it. He blew him up. I was like, he what? Like, I never saw that in the movie. So that's
He's like,
4.
Rorschach,
And then
no.
I
All
would
right,
have to say number 5 would have to be first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire.
okay,
It would have to be. It's
that's a
like,
pretty good list. That's a pretty good
yeah,
list.
but Tobey Maguire, because it was the first, it was one of the first big blockbuster movies. Because Blade wasn't blockbuster. It just wasn't. It was kind of underground, kind of, it had its following, but it wasn't like when Spider-Man came out.
Right.
So yeah, it's probably my top 5.
And that
So
was
yeah.
what I was gonna say. You beat me to it, Afro. You can't say Transformers. That's not a superhero. I love it though. I agree with I
You
agree
can't
with
do it.
Afro. You
It's
can't include
science
Transformers. It's not
fiction.
superheroes. It's
I can't
robots.
include Transformers.
It's robots and
Crazy.
it's alien robots to boot. It's everything but superheroes.
But they're saving the day.
But
They're
they're
literally
not.
saving the
There's
world.
nothing.
They're
They're
heroes.
robots. Robots aren't super.
Oh
They're
my!
robots
They're
and they're
not robots.
aliens.
They're aliens. They're not even robots. Superman's an alien, so he's not a
They're
hero.
techno-organic
Oh, oh,
beings.
oh. Superman is an
They're
alien, so he's not a
techno-organic
hero.
beings. You can't get it. Transformers doesn't count.
Oh my god! Are we serious?
Not
G.I.
letting you
Joe
off.
are heroes.
We're not letting them off the hook, Afro.
So G.I. Joe are heroes, but
They're not super though.
But, oh my! Snake
G.I.
Eyes
Joe
is
doesn't
pretty
count as
super.
superheroes. They're not super.
Oh my!
Batman's not a
Batman-
superhero. I don't care what
Batman's
anybody
a hero.
says.
He's
Batman's
not
a hero, but he's not a superhero because he doesn't have any super abilities. And I love Batman, but I love Batman because he's not super. That's why I love Batman.
I ain't doing no potatoes around here. Come on, bro. Transformers. Y'all want to fight me?
All right, so
Transformers.
let me give mine. So first and foremost, like I said, it would have to be the Donner film, Superman, number 1 of all time. That was burned into my 8-year-old psyche to this day. Number 2 would have to be Batman, 1989. It would have to be Batman. I hated the idea of Michael Keaton wearing the cowl, but his expressive eyes and he nailed it. He just was not a convincing bachelor Bruce Wayne. Number 3, probably Black Panther, the first one.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, if I had to take out Transformers, it's Black Panther. For sure. I felt a sense of pride for a country that didn't exist. I said, oh.
And definitely Endgame. And the last one I would say would be, believe it or not, what I really enjoyed Captain America. I thought Captain America was really good. The first one, the first Avenger.
Really?
I thought it was very good. I thought it encapsulated the hero's journey perfectly. Not a big fan of Origins, but they nailed it. They nailed Captain America.
Really?
Let's see. Glenn says they don't want us to leave. They say I may be wrong because y'all want us to leave because y'all know when you're gonna be back on.
Yeah, y'all gotta we gonna be back. I promise y'all. Like,
we gonna be back on, y'all.
Next week, yo, I'm cranking out videos, bro. Like, yeah. I promise.
And listen, you guys can check me out on my other YouTube channel at Kapow School. I'm really focused on that because the school's about to start back up in September, where I give a lot of educational stuff on the comics industry, and I sit down with other pros and we talk shop. Check me out at Kapow School here on YouTube. And if you want my own personal properties, check me out at Honor Studios. And that's where I share my faith and the properties that I'm working on in my creative approach to my own intellectual properties. But here, I will also be here. I got some book reviews that I want to do. I actually told you I got some small press and indie reviews that I promised indie creators that gave me. I've been doing a lot of conventions lately. This convention season, San Diego Comic-Con is going on right now. And I'm getting texts from friends that are there and telling me, Solo, we got to get there next year, Jay. We got to figure it out. Yeah, we got to figure it out. Next year, we got to be at San Diego. We got to have a booth. So, yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on, but we will not be neglecting you guys much longer. Trust me, Jay is in the lab. He's been talking about it nonstop. And so
it's been bothering me, yo.
He's working on his doctorate.
I've been needing
kids. He's getting his doctorate. He's been out of the country. And I've had tunnel vision on getting Kapow and my own properties up and going. Sorry to be neglectful. It has not been intentional, but we will be better.
For sure,
we promise. Okay.
No Corey Kenshin stuff going over here, disappearing for months at a time, or years at a time.
Right. Glimmer
I
says I
love
may be
Corey.
wrong, but what if RDJ doesn't become the villain until Secret Wars? But what if something else is the villain for Doomsday? Marvel just called the movie that threw us off.
If so, that's wishful thinking. I'm here for it. If
Yep.
so.
Travis says, how's it going, guys? I think I have a theory as to why Doom looks like Tony. All right, Travis, let's see what you got.
You got
And
Tony.
I'm catching up. I'm catching up. No, Unbreakable.
X2.
Oh, Unbreakable's in there for me. Unbreakable. Thank you, Afro.
Really?
Unbreakable's got to be in there with me. The only Unbreakable though. The other ones are kind of butt.
Not Glass or
Not Glass or Split.
Split, yeah.
Yeah, Unbreakable was. And I'm not a M. Night Shyamalan fan.
Yeah, I recently just went out. I was watching the heavy spoilers, and they were, going back doing the old '90s movie Sixth Sense and stuff like that.
X-Men 2.
With the Phoenix stopping the water when she turned to the Phoenix, that was a goosebumps moment when we saw the Phoenix.
That was a goosebumps moment.
She was holding the water and start going on fire. He's like, oh, the Phoenix, but with them crying.
For me, it was the first X-Men because it was the first time on the screen.
Yes, out with the claws.
Oh, yeah, man. We said, yeah, man.
That might be Spider-Man.
And we got Taylor Maine, who great gentleman. I saw him at a con 2 months ago. He actually spoke for a little bit. I told Taylor Maine, you will always be my Sabretooth.
Oh, for sure.
I said, you will always be my Sabretooth. I'm sorry.
They killed in Deadpool and Logan.
Yes. I'm like, you will always be my Sabretooth. I never saw Kick-Ass. I read the comics.
You didn't?
I read the comics.
Really?
Yeah, I never saw the movie.
But you saw Wanted.
I did see Wanted. The book was amazing. The movie was butt.
Oh yeah, the book was amazing.
The book was amazing. Wanted was amazing.
I read that whole universe.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
I mean, the movie was butt. The book was good.
Yeah, the book was good. The movie was butt.
The book was good. Yeah.
So
I don't think Travis is in here anymore.
Yeah. So, well, listen, that's all I got. I hear the dogs upstairs. I think
There he goes. There he goes.
There goes
Travis
who?
Travis.
Oh, okay, Travis. Okay. Franklin has the power to see into alternate universes and create his own. Doom's face is unrecognizable. He is in an iron mask wearing person who probably said he is a hero like
Fantastic Four. Probably said he's a hero. Possibly. It's no telling with all the multiverse stuff. It's no telling. It really is. So wishful thinking, that they give us some type of twist, but it really is no telling, which is a good space for them to be in because we don't know what to expect.
Right.
We know to expect to see RDJ and Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, but we don't know what to expect from what they're gonna do from that movie because there's been no setup to it.
Right.
So, as far as we can see.
To young Franklin, let's give him a look, and then we're going to check out of here. To young Franklin, who is healing this man's face, not knowing what it looked like before. Perhaps he looks into the multiverse, associates with him, with Iron Man, and heals his face into Tony's.
Iron Mask.
Could be.
Now you got something there, Travis.
That's a pretty good theory, Mr. Mitchell.
Hey, you got something. You got something
kid.
yeah, you on to something. That is not bad, brother.
That's pretty good, Mr. Mitchell.
All right. Yeah,
I'm going to remember this one. I'm going to pull this one up when we see the movie. If they do that, then we're going to ask for you a ticket to Hollywood too, with mine, The Man in Iron Mask. I know. Yeah.
Yep. No, that was good for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Or Franklin again. We got to remember Franklin's not the typical kid. With the power of cosmic comes cosmic awareness and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he thinks deeper. My man saying Leonardo DiCaprio. All right. Listen, on that note, we are out of here, you guys. I hear dogs upstairs wrestling. And I got a new pup that I'm training to be my service animal. So I'm nervous. But thank you guys for hanging out with us. We hope that you guys enjoy. Like, follow, subscribe, do all the things here on Generation Geek. If you want, we can come back and we can chat and we can talk Superman. I want to circle back around on Superman because we got a lot to say on the Superman movie. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. And follow us everywhere. I'm everywhere at Kapow School. Jay with his gaming at Mr. Melee TV, mostly on Twitch. Okay,
Yep.
mostly on Twitch. Is problematic on YouTube because of strikes and all that stuff with music. They be striking everything. They be like hatchet chopping my dude. You know, I'm like, stupid to me because it only hurts their bottom line. You ask me. You know, so anyway, thank you guys so much. We love you guys. And remember, as always, keep it geek. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Y'all be blessed. Peace.
Thank you.